Today we'll be working on lattice multiplication. This process allows you to take triple-digit numbers and multiply them, and it breaks it down and makes it simpler as if it was single-digit multiplication. I'll show you how. Okay. First, what you would like to do is put the problem on the left-hand side of your sheet of paper. So we are going to do it just like so. We will be using the numbers 1, 2, 3 multiplied by 4, 5, 6. Okay? That's how it would normally look. Now, for the lattice multiplication process, how we start off with is a box. Okay? So you notice there are 3 columns there. We are doing 3 columns because we are working with triple-digit numbers. So our first set of numbers that are at the top will then go at the top of the box. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. Now the second set of numbers that are on the bottom will actually go along the side. 4, 5, and 6. So we'll draw lines just like this. Now our next step is actually going to be drawing lines diagonally through each of these boxes. Making it look like lattice. See that? Now, what we are going to do, we are going to start on the right-hand side of your paper by multiplying the top number by the top number at the top here. The top 2 corners. We'll multiply 4 times 3, and that's going to equal 12. We'll put the 1 at the top, you'll put the 2 at the bottom. That's how that will go, just like that. Then we will multiply the second number, or actually 5 times 3, which equals 15. Now we want to make sure that we have a number in each of these boxes. We don't want to leave any blanks, okay? So we have 6 times 3. That's going to be 18. So we put the 1 again at the top, we put the 8 at the bottom. Again, not leaving any boxes blank. Then we will move over, and we are at the number 2, okay? So all of these boxes down here are going to be multiplied by 2. So we have 4 times 2. It makes it 8. So just like I said, we don't want to leave any boxes blank, so if we put the 0 at the top, we put the 8 at the bottom. That way we don't have any boxes that are blank, okay? Then the next number is going to be 5, multiplied by the 2. Again, that's going to be 10, so we have a 1 at the top and we have a 0 at the bottom. Our next number is going to be the 6, multiplied by the 2, so we have 6 multiplied by 2, that's 12, we put the 1 at the top, we put the 2 at the bottom. Then we are on our last column here, this is for the 1s, okay, everything will be multiplied by 1, so we're at 4 times 1 equals 4, so again we don't want to leave anything blank, so we have a 0 there, and we put a 4 down here at the bottom. Our next number is 5. That's going to be multiplied by that same 1, and that is 5. So we have a 0 at the top, and we multiply it then by, or write the number down at the bottom as 5. Our last number is going to be 6. That will then be multiplied by that same number over here, 1. So it's 6 times 1. That's going to be equal 6. Okay? Do we notice that we do not have any blanks? Okay, if you have any blanks in any one of your boxes, you need to stop, and then you will need to multiply that number again wherever it crosses, and then you'll see. Okay, make sure that you're filling in all of if there needs to be a 0, make sure you put the zeros there, and make sure you have your proper multiplication going there. Now, our next step is actually addition. Okay, we'll be adding this stuff up, but we will not be adding down. Okay, like normal. What we will do in the lattice model is we're actually going to be adding diagonally. Okay, so I'm just going to draw some arrows here. I'm just going to show you how we'll be multiplying here. Just going to draw an arrow for every last one. Okay? So it kind of just shows you which direction we'll be multiplying. Diagonally across. I call it the major slide. Okay? So we will be sliding through the 8, and the only number it's going to be adding is just itself, so that makes it 8. So we put that number, once we add it, right below where the slide ends. That's where that slide ends, so we put the 8 there. Then we will slide down this second line here. We start off with the 5, so 5 plus 1, because it's split across the 1, that's going to be 6, and then 6 plus the 2 is going to be 8. So we put that 8 right below the slide there. Then on our next slide, we start off with the number 2, and we add that together. We slide down the 2, and we add that with the 1 that we just slid across. That will be 3, and then we add that with the 0 that we just slid across, and that will be 3 still. And then 3 plus 1 is going to be 4, and 4 plus 6 is going to be 10. Oh, okay, it's 10. Now what do we do, right? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to put that 0 right down here below that slide, like we normally would do, but now we got to find somewhere to put that 1. Okay, we're going to carry the 1 up to the next slide. Okay, so we put that 1 right up here. Okay, so we will start off, when we start to count, we'll start off with our 1 that we just started off with. So 1 plus the 1 is going to equal 2. And we slide down to the 8, that's going to equal 10. And 10 plus the 1 is going to equal 11. And 11 plus the 5 is going to be 16. So now we put the 6 over here on the side, because that's where the slide ended. And we carry the 1 again, just like we did before. We have 1 plus 0. That's going to be 1. 1 plus 4, that's going to equal 5. 5 plus 0, that's going to still be 5. So we then put the 5 right over here on the side. That's where the slide ended. Well, our last little slide has just this little triangle right here, and that's actually 0. So we don't actually have to put a 0 there because it's